Good morning, everyone. Am I audible and visible to all of you?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Okay, so it's 9 o'clock and the class has started. In the last class, what did we discuss? Tell me. Who all are there? Abhiram and everyone in the class. What we discuss? What did we discuss in the last class? Tell me. Fatafat. What we were discussing?
Static friction.
And what did we discuss in static friction? Did we do problems in that?
Yes, sir.
What problems? We were trying to find out the value of static friction. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Chalo. We continue on the same scenario. We continue with some problems. And here is the first problem for today. Now, you can see the difference between the problems that we discussed last day and today. Now, the body is kept on an inclined plane. Let us say this is a body of mass M kept on an inclined plane. And this inclined plane is rough. And this body does not move, the body remains at rest. You have to tell me what is the value of friction or frictional force acting on this body. The body is at rest, you have to tell me the value of frictional force. Now, what we are doing here is a experiment, which I think would be there in your board as well. This is an experiment of an inclined plane. You have an inclined plane which is rough. You can change the angle of inclination. You can make it more, or less. And then you keep a block on that inclined plane and you find out something. So we are doing the same experiment, but we are doing it in the form of a question. So that is the only difference. So I have already given you the question. I hope you give me the answer. What is the value of static friction in this particular case? Obviously, the friction has to be static because there is no relative motion between the inclined plane and the body. There is no relative motion. So friction has to be static in nature. Get me the value of static friction. Anyone got the answer? Please raise your hands if you got the answer. No one? What about the online people? Tanu, Abhiram, any answers? Okay, let me solve it. How are we going to do this? Simple. The only thing that we have known all these years, all these months, all these days, how to solve a question of Newton laws of motion. Draw the free body diagram. Weight mg acting downwards. It has to be resolved. This one becomes mg cos theta. Cos of 30 is root 3 by 2. So this becomes root 3 by 2 mg. This component becomes mg sine of theta. Sine of 30. Sine of 30 is half. So this becomes mg by 2. Then this is the normal reaction n from the float, from the inclined surface. Obviously, this block is not going to move like this. And hence, this normal reaction n will be equal to root 3 by 2 mg. All of us know this. So we can just write it root 3 by 2 mg. That is the value of normal reaction. So far, so good. But the question was not to find out the normal reaction. The question was to find out the value of frictional force, F. Obviously, which type of friction is here? It is definitely static friction. Now, how do you find the value of static friction? First of all, you have to understand what is the direction of static friction. Now, if you look at the free body diagram, I have not drawn friction. There is a force mg by 2, which is trying to pull or make the block come downwards, but it is not moving. That means it is at rest. It is in equilibrium. But it has a tendency to move downwards. It is not moving downwards. Something is stopping it. That something would be friction. So friction would be static and it would be upward. So the direction of friction is determined. Now, how do you get the magnitude of friction? And it is very simple. The body has to be in equilibrium. Whatever force is downwards, same force has to be upwards. The yellow equation, and you get the value of frictional force. What is the value of frictional force? Anyone? What will be the value of frictional force? No one knows? No one from the class understand the value of frictional force?
mg by 2, sir.
Frictional force, very good, would be mg by 2. And here comes your answer. Remember, static friction, it does not have a constant value. It is variable. Yes, Tanu, you are correct. Static friction is variable. Its value keeps on changing. The maximum value is fixed. That is known as limiting friction. But here it was not the case of limiting friction. Here it was simply a case of static friction. Friction was within static range and it was less than limiting friction. That was your question number one. Now what I'm going to do is, as I told you, we are doing an experiment where we are going to change the angle of inclination. So now I have increased the angle. I made it 37 degrees. Same question. Block of mass M kept on a rough surface. It is still at rest. It does not move. It is at rest. Now, can you tell me what is the value of static friction in this case? I hope you have got your answers. How to go about it is very simple. We do the same thing. Weight mg goes down. This is mg cos theta. Cos of 37 is 4 by 5. So this becomes 4 by 5 of mg. This is mg sine of 37. Sine of 37 is 3 by 5. So this becomes 3 by 5 of mg. This is my normal reaction. We all know it is not going to move in the perpendicular direction. So normal reaction would be 4 by 5 mg. What next? 3 by 5 mg is trying to pull it downwards, but it is not going. That means something is stopping it. That something is your static friction Fs. What is the value of static friction? It is very simple now. What is the value of static friction? Static friction in this case would be 3 by 5 mg. So what has happened here is I have changed the angle of inclination. When the angle of inclination was 30 degrees, the static friction was mg by 2. When the angle became 37 degrees, the value became 3 by 5 mg. Static friction is intelligent. It can change its value mg by 2. What the value in the first case, 3 by 5 mg, is the value in the second case. Everyone got this answer? Can I have some raised hand that you understand this? Boys? Okay. Chalo. Abhiram. Tanu, what about you? Did you understand this? Now, if you keep on increasing the angle, at some point in time, the block will start to move. And that is my case number 3. So now listen to the case very, very carefully. I have now increased the angle to 45 degrees. At 45 degrees, remember when I use the word, the block is just about to move. The block is just about to move. The block is just about to move. Now, in this case, can you tell me the value of friction? So I have got 3 questions here. Can you tell me the value of friction? Static friction, it does not move, it is about to move. Can you tell me the value of limiting friction? And third, can you tell me the value of mu s? So there are 3 questions now coming into the picture. As soon as limiting friction comes, limiting friction depends on mu s. Static friction does not depend on mu s. It can range. It has a range. Limiting friction, which is the maximum value of static friction, that is fixed. Below the minimum value, below the maximum value, static friction can keep on changing. So here are 3 questions now. Time starts now. Can you tell me these 3 things? Let's see how to do this. It's pretty simple. mg goes down. mg cos 45. Cos 45 is 1 by root 2. So this becomes mg by root 2. mg sine 45. Sine 45 is also root 2. 1 by root 2. So this is mg by root 2. This is normal reaction. We all know that normal reaction will be equal to mg by root 2. No points for guessing that one. Now, this wants to move down. It is just about to move down, just about to move down. So when it is just about to move down, that means friction, which is static, has reached its maximum value. Now, when static friction has reached its maximum value, instead of calling it as static friction, we would call it as limiting friction, FL. Static friction has reached its maximum value. We'll call it as FL. So now you can get the value of FL. The value of FL becomes?
Sir,
Yes,
what's the value of cos 45?
yes.
Value of cos 45.
You don't know the value of cos 45?
It it's root 3 by 2 now, sir.
No, it's 1 by root 2. If you don't know the value of cos 45, 1 by root 1 by root 2. Okay, so limiting friction becomes mg by root 2. You must remember, if you don't remember the value of cos 45 sin 45, I cannot help you. If after 4 months of class in class 11, even if you are a medical student, if you don't know the value of cos 45, well, you should know it. Okay, I have nothing else to say here. So the value of limiting friction is mg by root 2. What is the value of static friction? Static friction has reached its maximum limit, but it is still static. So it is mg by root 2 once again. Now, the last part remains. What is the value of mu s? What is the value of mu s? Now, to get the value of mu s, I must know the value of normal reaction. I already know the value of normal reaction. The value of normal reaction is mg by root 2. The value of normal reaction is mg by root 2. Now, how do I get the value of mu s? To get the value of mu s, I need two things. I need the value of n and I need the value of FL because I know the relation. The relation is limiting friction. Let me write it with a different pen. Limiting friction FL is equal to mu s multiplied by n. That is the relation that we had seen. If I put the values of FL and n in this equation, I will get the value of mu s, and in this case, I will get the value of mu s as 1. It is a very high value, but again, I am not making a practical question. I am just making a question to let you know how things are done. And this is the answer for the 3 questions that I have given. Static friction is now limiting value, mg by root 2, mu s is 1. Am I clear with this problem? Apart from the fact that sine 45 and cos 45 are both equal and equal to 1 by root 2 beta, you should be knowing this. There are no excuses for not knowing this. If you are confused in this, don't be confused. There's something that you must know. You cannot forget A, B, C, D. Similarly, you just can't forget this. There are no excuses for this one. Did we understand this? Can I have some raised hands that we understand this? Everyone in the class, boys, girls? Abhiram, Tanu? Okay. Now, at 45 degrees, this block starts to move. This block starts to move. Now, once we know that this block starts to move, we know that friction has reached its maximum value. So if we know this angle 45 degrees, we can calculate the value of mu s, which is your coefficient of static friction. So this 45 degree wala angle is a very important angle because it helps us in finding the value of mu s. We cannot find the value of mu s from the first 2 questions because in the first 2 questions, it was only static friction and it has not reached its maximum value. But in question number 3, we can now calculate from question number 3, we can now calculate the value of mu s. That means this angle, which is 45, becomes a very important angle. Now, this angle will be different for different planes and different bodies. For example, if I have an inclined plane made up of wood and an inclined plane made up of glass, this angle will be different for both the inclined planes. It will be different for different bodies. If I put a block of iron and if I put a block of aluminum, this angle would be different for aluminum and iron depending on the value of static friction. This angle is very important, and since this angle is very important, this angle is known as angle of repose. This angle is known as angle of repose. It is the angle at which the motion starts between the block, or the block starts to move on this inclined plane. This is known as angle of repose. So that is your next heading, angle of repose. So write the heading, angle of repose. What is angle of repose? Write the heading, angle of repose. And what is the angle of repose? So what is the angle of repose? And it comes to you right away. What is angle of repose? And I shall dictate and you shall write. Angle of repose is defined as the angle of the inclined plane with the horizontal such that a body placed on it just begins to slide. You keep a body on an inclined plane, you keep on changing the angle. At some angle, the body will start to slide. That angle is known as the angle of repose for the given inclined plane and the given body. This angle of repose depends on what material is your inclined plane and what material is your body made up of. Do we understand this angle of repose? You should also draw this diagram, which I am going to enhance for you so that you can see it better. And here it comes. Now, just remember, this is your normal reaction N. This is your frictional force, which has now become limiting FL. They have written this angle as alpha. You can also write it as alpha if you want to. So this angle is alpha. You can write it as alpha or theta. Write it as alpha because theta they are using for a different thing. Now, in this case, your limiting friction FL will be equal to mg sine alpha. We have already understood this. This will be equal to mg sine alpha.
Sir,
Am I clear?
sir,
Anyone having any doubt?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, once show definition.
Okay, I'll come back to it. Now you write this again. FL is mg sine alpha. Now this FL, you can see that this normal reaction is mg cos alpha. This FL will be equal to mu s multiplied by normal reaction. Normal reaction will be equal to mg cos alpha. This is the normal reaction, mg cos alpha. This entire thing will be equal to mg sine of alpha. Please note this, then I'll give you a definition again. Leave 2 lines, not a problem. And here you can understand that the value of mu s will be equal to tan of alpha, where alpha is the angle of repose. So this is a very simple derivation that you can do. Mu s is tan of alpha, where alpha is your angle of repose. where alpha is your angle of repose. Are you getting this? Am I clear with this? Mu s is tan alpha, where alpha is the angle of repose. And what is angle of repose? It is the angle of the inclined plane with the horizontal at which the block begins to slide. Am I clear now? When I have some raised hand, have you understand this, sir? Boys and girls? Okay. Abhiram, Tanu, okay. And one important thing that we have also seen is that mu s is equal to tan of alpha, where alpha is the angle of repose. So that is one point that you must remember. I have started the definition. I have also started. These are the two things that you must remember. Apart from these two things, you should also remember this point, which I am again going to highlight and make it bigger for you. And the point is this one. Alpha is equal to theta. What is theta? We have seen that there is something known as angle of friction. Remember angle of friction. If I just remind you of this angle of friction, if you have a body and this is a normal reaction and this is the value, this is friction, static friction, then this is your reaction force R, and this angle theta is known as the angle of friction. Do you remember this angle of friction? Theta. Angle of friction is the angle between reaction force and normal reaction. Do you remember this? Yes or no? Can I have some raise hand that you remember this? So remember, angle of friction theta is same as angle of repose, and tan of angle of theta or angle of repose will be same. Angle of repose and angle of friction are both same. I'll give you 2 minutes to write all this. I'll give you 2 minutes. Write all this. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Else we'll move on to questions. I hope you have written this. Anyone having any doubt on this, please raise your hands. Okay. Now let me give you a question. This is an angle of 60 degrees. A block of mass M is placed here. This block of mass M is just about to move. This block of mass M is just about to move. You have to tell me the value of static friction, the value of limiting friction, the value of mu s, And number 4, you have to tell me the angle of repose. Four things. Your time starts now. I hope you would have done this. So what I do is just, this is mg. This is mg cos of 60. Cos of 60 is half. So mg by 2. This is mg sine of 60. Sine of 60 is root 3 by 2. It is not cos of, it is not sine of 35 or 45. It is sine of 60. Remember that. Can't forget this. Normal reaction is n. You now understand the value of normal reaction will be mg by 2. So you can write it here if you want to. Normal reaction is mg by 2. It is supposed to slide. It is not sliding. Something is stopping it. What is stopping it is limiting friction. So the value of static friction has now become limiting. And what is the value of limiting friction here? It's easier to understand. It will be equal to root 3 by 2 mg. So both the answers would be same. This would be equal to root 3 by 2 mg. This will also be equal to root 3 by 2 mg. Now, to calculate the value of mu s, you know the value of FL, you know the value of N. From there, you can calculate the value of mu s, or you remember this angle theta, this angle 60 degree. This 60 degree is nothing but your angle of repose. This 60 degree is nothing but your angle of repose. So you can just simply write this angle of repose. This angle of repose will be equal to 60 degrees. You can simply write it straight away. Now, once you write it straight away, then you know that mu s will be tan of 60. Tan of 60 is root 3. So your answer for this would be root 3. You can calculate it this way, or you can calculate it from the formula. Whatever you do, you will always end up with the same answer. Do we understand this? Can I have some reason that we understand this? Online people, Abhiram, Tanu, boys, girls, do we understand this? Okay. Shall we move on to the next question? Now remember, these questions of friction, which is static, they are very enterprising, and you might get 1 or 2 in your exam. Incline plane. Incline at an angle of 45 degrees. A block of mass m is kept here. The surface is rough, obviously. The value of mu s is given to you. Mu s is root 3. It's a very high value, but just given it as root 3. Mu s is root 3. Now the question is, number one, does the block slide? Does it slide or does it move? Number two, find out the value of static friction. Number three, find out the value of FL. Number four, find the angle of repose. So it's a very simple question, but asked in a different way. Same questions that we have been doing, asked in a different way. Let's see if you can do this. Your time starts now, and I'll wait for your answers. So far, so good. How do I go about it? Same things. This is mg. This is mg cos 45. It is 1 by root 2, remember. This is mg sine of 45. It is 1 by root 2. Normal reaction n. Everyone can understand that the value of normal reaction is mg by root 2. No points for getting that one. Now let us try to answer the questions one by one. The easiest one which I see is to get the value of angle of repose. Can anyone tell me what is the angle of repose? In the class, what is the angle of repose?
45 degrees, sir.
Angle of repose is not 45 degrees. Anyone else? The first question is, does it slide? So, angle of repose is not 45. Anyone else with an answer? No one knows. Aveda, Tanu.
60 degrees, sir.
Angle of repose is definitely 60 degrees. That is correct. How did you get this? It is very simple here. See, sir. Mu s is given to you. Now remember, mu s is equal to tan of alpha, where alpha is the angle of repose. Just now done this. Mu s is given as root 3. Root 3 is tan of angle of repose. So angle of repose becomes tan inverse of root 3, which is nothing but 60 degrees. So alpha becomes 60 degrees. That is my first answer. Do we get this, everyone? Can I have some raise hand that you understand this? Okay. Now, once you get this, let us now move ahead and ask and answer the first question. Does it slide? Can it move? What is the answer? Angle of repose is 60 degrees. It is right now at 45 degrees. Will it move on its own? Yes or no? Does it slide? Anyone in the online class? Anyone in the offline class? Does it move? Does it slide? No one knows the answer. It does not move. It will only move when the angle becomes 60 degrees. The angle is not 60 degrees. There is no other force. It cannot move. So the answer is no, it does not slide. It can only begin sliding when the angle becomes the angle of repose. That is the point where it slides. Am I clear? Can I have some reason that we understand this? Boys, it will only begin sliding when the angle becomes angle of repose. Angle of repose is 60 degrees. It is right now at 45 degrees, so it will not slide. Am I clear? Can I have some reason that we understand this? Boys, do we understand this? Okay. Now, let us answer the rest of the questions. What is Fs? It wants to come down, but it is not coming down. The angle is less than the angle of repose. It is not coming down. Something is stopping it. What is stopping it? Static friction. Has it reached its maximum limit? No, it has not reached its maximum limit. What is the value of static friction? We have done it 1500 times. Static friction is equal to mg by root 2. Do we understand this? Can I have some reason that we understand this, sir? Great. Most of the students, whether they are in JEE or NEET, they often confuse static friction with limiting friction. Whenever someone asks them what is the value of static friction, they will always say mu s into n. No, mu s into n is the value of limiting friction. It is the maximum value of static friction. It is not always the value of static friction because static friction keeps on changing its value. Now comes the last part. What is the value of, oops, wrong color. What is the value of FL? Now to get the value of FL, what do you need to do? What do you need to do is multiply mu s by the value of n. Can anyone tell me what is the value of FL? I'll give you a minute to win it. What is the value of FL?
Root 3 by 2 mg, sir.
Root 3 by 2 or root 3 by root 2?
Root 3 by root 2.
Yes, so be careful in what you are saying. So I can write it like this, root over 3 by 2 mg. Do we understand this, everyone? Can I have some raise hand that we understand this? It is root over 3 by 2 or root 3 by root 2 mg. This is how we do the question. Am I clear? Can I have some raise hand that we have understood this? If you have any problems, I'll wait here for a minute. Give every one of you a minute to win it. If you have any doubts, come up. Okay, then comes your next one. I hope you are understanding this concept. 37 degrees. Block of mass m kept here. Kept on an inclined surface. The value of mu s is given as 1. Now, The same 4 questions will come. Question number 1, does it slide or move? Number 2, what is the value of Fs? Number 3, what is the value of Fl? Number 4, what is the angle of repose? Your time starts now. How do you do it? How do you go about it? It's very simple. Mg goes down. This is mg cos 37. Cos 37 is 4 by 5. So this is 4 by 5 of mg. This is sine 44, sine 37, 3 by 5 of mg. This is my normal reaction. And ting ting, ting ting. We have your first answer. No one has asked you this, but still you can find it out. Normal reaction N is 4 by 5 times mg. The green answer is already there. Now, can I have answers from you? The first question that I'll ask is the fourth one. What is the angle of repose? Do we have the angle of repose?
45 degrees, sir.
Yes, 45 degrees. And how do I get it? It's very simple, sir. Mu s is known. Mu s is nothing but tan of alpha, where alpha is the angle of repose. From here, you can calculate the angle of repose, tan inverse of 1, which is simply 45 degrees. And that is your answer for the angle of repose, 45 degrees. So once you understand the angle of repose, I shall have the second question for you. Does it move?
No, sir.
It does not move because you have to increase the angle to 45 degrees to make it to move. It is still at 37 degrees. It cannot move. So, no, it does not move. That is my second answer or first answer. Now they are asking us find the value of Fs. It does not move. Something is stopping it. It is static friction. It is not limiting. Now I can understand the value of static friction. What is the value of static friction?
3 by 5 mg.
And very nice. It has to be 3 by 5 mg. 3 by 5 mg. Well done. One thing remains. What is the value of limiting friction? Can I have that answer? I will not tell you how to find it out.
4 by 5 mg.
That is wrong. What is the value of FL?
1 into 4 by 5 mg. No, sir.
Wrong. What is the value of limiting friction? Remember it always. Limiting friction. Yes. Sorry. I did not see. Limiting friction is mu s multiplied by n. I thought the value of mu s is something else. This 1 multiplied by 4 by 5. That is absolutely correct. I'm sorry. I did not see the value of mu s. That is correct. It is 4 by 5 mg. Am I clear with everyone? 1 multiplied by 4 by 5. That is the answer for limiting friction. Can I have some raise hand? Have you understood this? Well done. Now, since you have understood this, now I'll give you something. Let's see what is that something. Okay. Look at this question. If you can solve this, well, I would congratulate you. If you don't, even if you try, I would be very happy. 45 degrees is the angle of incline. A block of mass M is kept on this. Let's see you do this. In quota, we have this chocolate question. So if you solve this question, you get a chocolate. Two things are given here. Obviously, this surface is rough. The value of mu s is given as 3/4, and the value of mu k is given as half. Two values are given. I mean, there should be two values always, mu s and mu k, static and kinetic. And now the question comes. What is the question? Number one, what is the angle of repose? Number two, does it move? Number three, type of friction. Number four, value of FL. Number five, magnitude of friction. Number six, does it accelerate? Number seven, if it accelerates, the value of acceleration. So now I have 7 questions instead of 3 or 4. Your time starts now. If you've understood this, you should be able to nail it. Whatever you do it. What are the answers that we'll get? First things first, let us start from the first one. Angle of repose. What is the angle of repose? Do we have the answer for this one? Anyone has the answer for angle of repose?
Tan inverse 3/4.
How much is tan inverse 3/4? Mu s is tan of alpha. So alpha is tan inverse 3/4 and tan inverse 3/4 is 37 degrees. Again, you cannot forget this. Sine of 37 is 3/5. Cos of 37 is 4/5. So tan of 37 is 3/4. Cannot forget this. Because if you forget this, the rest of the question will not be able to solve because you don't know what is tan of 37 or tan inverse of 3/4. So the angle of repose in this case is 37 degrees. That is the first answer that we were looking at. The angle of repose is 37 degrees. Do you all understand this? Yes or no? Angle of repose is 37 degrees. Now comes the next question. Does it move?
Yes, sir.
Yes. See, this is 45 degrees. It cannot stop it. If it was less than 37 degrees, it would have stopped it, but it moves. So the answer is yes. Yes, it moves. Now comes the third question, the green one. What type of friction will be applicable now? What is the type of friction that would come into the picture?
Kinetic friction.
Yes, yes, our old friend, not the new one. FK, kinetic friction comes into the picture because it starts to move. Well done, well done. Now let us come to what is the value of FL. To get the value of FL, let us draw the diagram. This is mg, no problems. This is mg cos of 45. So this is mg by root 2. This is mg sine of 45. So this is mg by root 2. This is normal reaction, no problems, normal reaction. The green one is equal to mg by root 2. So I can write it here. Normal reaction is mg by root 2. Now can you tell me what is the value of limiting friction? What is the value of limiting friction?
3/4 into mg by root 2.
Well done. It is will be 3/4 root 2 multiplied by mg mu s multiplied by n. That is absolutely correct. That is FL. The next question asks us, what is the magnitude of friction? Now, limiting friction is not the friction that is applied on this body because the body is moving. Limiting friction only comes when the body is at rest, about to move. Here the body is moving. Friction is kinetic. You have to tell me the value of kinetic friction basically. You have to tell me the value of kinetic friction basically. Question passes on to you. What is the value of kinetic friction?
1/2 into mg by root 2.
That is correct. To find out kinetic friction, you have to use mu k. So that is where you use the second value of mu k. Once friction becomes kinetic, the value becomes fixed. It is mu k multiplied by n. The value of mu k is half. I will just write it here. So this is equal to mu k multiplied by n. So the answer will be mg by root 2 multiplied by 1 by 2. The answer will be mg by 2 root 2. Do we understand this? mg by 2 root 2 is the value of kinetic friction. As soon as you get the value of kinetic friction and you know the block is moving, just write the value of kinetic friction Fk upwards, because the block is moving downwards. Fk is upwards, and the value of Fk is mg by 2 root 2. So far so good. Can I have some raised hand that we have understood it up till now here, sir? No problems. Boys, you understood up till here? Okay. This is Fk and this is mg by 2. Comes the next question. I will mark it as red. Does the block accelerate? Does the block accelerate? You look at the downward force. Downward force is mg by root 2. You look at the upward force. Upward force is less than the downward force, mg by 2 root 2. So it has to accelerate. And in which direction will it accelerate? It will accelerate in the downward direction. Yes or no? Can I have some reason that it will accelerate in the downward direction? Upward force is less, friction is less, downward force is more. It will accelerate in the downward direction. So the answer for this question is yes. Yes, yes, yes. It accelerates. Yes, it accelerates. Then the last question is find out the value of acceleration. How will I find the value of acceleration? I'll make this yellow equation. I'll make this yellow equation. What is the yellow equation? What is the yellow equation? Downward force is mg by root 2 downward. Upward force is frictional force. So minus mg by 2 root 2. That is the upward force. Downward minus upward. Acceleration is downwards. Should be equal to m into a. From here, m will get cancelled. M will get cancelled. G by root 2 minus G by 2 root 2. You can calculate the acceleration, and acceleration will come as G by 2 root 2. And that would be the answer for your acceleration. Do we understand this? Can I have some reason that we have understood this? Once the block moves, this question becomes a question of kinetic friction, and kinetic friction, we have done too many questions. The only problem was static friction. But again, I think now we have understood static friction. Remember, static friction is variable. It can vary from a minimum value to a maximum value. The maximum value of static friction is fixed. That is known as limiting friction. So what we have done in today's class, we have solved some problems in today's class, and we have seen a very important concept of angle of repose. What is the angle of repose? Angle of repose is the angle at which a block kept on an inclined plane starts to move. Mu s is always equal to the tan of angle of repose. And then we have solved some problems based on static friction, limiting friction, mu s, angle of repose, and in the very last problem, we have discussed kinetic friction as well. In the next class, which would be your last class on Newton laws of motion, we will discuss combined problems of mu s, mu k, static and kinetic friction. I will end today's class here on this note. I hope you have enjoyed today's class, and you have understood the difference between static and kinetic friction, limiting friction, static friction. Keep on revising this. We'll meet in the next class. Up till then, day after tomorrow. Have a good day. If you have any doubt now, you can ask me. Class from my side is over. Take care.